The global financial system, the biggest casino on earth. Warning, what you're about to hear may completely change how you see this world. So take a breath and get ready to face the raw truth. Because the secrets you're about to learn aren't just interesting. They can change the direction of your life and give you an edge inside the global financial game, one that most people don't even realize they're playing. Now imagine this, a massive casino, neon lights everywhere, cheers bursting from every corner, the non-stop sound of money flowing, chips stacking, deals closing, fortunes shifting hands. Here's the shocking part. That casino isn't in Las Vegas. That casino is the global economic system we live in. And from the moment you're born, you're placed on the board as a piece inside this machine. But there's a fatal flaw in this casino. The rules were written by a small minority, powerful business tycoons, politicians, financial giants at the top of the pyramid. They don't just play the game. They design the game, then position themselves so they can't lose. Let's break it down. If this world is a casino, there are 5 levels of players inside it. Level 1, the mega business elites who maintain the order of the current world. Level 2, the entrepreneurs who fight to change the world. Level 3, the workers who grind hard for stable income. Level 4, the stock investors chasing wealth but often stuck in speculation. Level 5, the lottery players who hand their future over to luck. So here's the uncomfortable question. What level are you on right now? Most people are living at level 3 or below. But don't mistake your current level for your destiny. Because the moment you understand how this system actually works, you gain a chance to break the frame and climb. Before we go deeper, follow the channel if you want more truths about money and a faster road to financial freedom. Now let's talk about the rules of this casino. Rules most people never learn. Rules that act like invisible chains on the majority, but create unlimited opportunity for a minority. Rule number 1, money makes money. The rich keep getting richer for one reason most people underestimate: compound growth. Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. And whether or not he really said it, the idea is dead accurate. Here's what compound growth means. Your money earns money. Then that new money earns money. Then that money earns money. A positive cycle. Imagine you start with $4,000 and grow it at 10% per year. Over time, the numbers stop feeling linear and start feeling explosive. Now imagine you add a little every month. The growth accelerates even more. This is why wealth tends to concentrate. But here's the brutal truth. Inflation is quietly eating your money. If your money grows slower than inflation, you're not staying the same. You're becoming poorer, just slowly enough that you don't notice. That's why parking your savings in a bank account and calling it safe can be one of the worst long-term strategies. Safe doesn't always mean smart. Rule number 2, risk and profit, and how the top players offload risk. In this casino, high returns come with high risk. That's the obvious part. The part most people don't realize is this. Elite players don't just take risk. They move risk. They push risk onto someone else, then collect profit themselves. The 2008 financial crisis is a classic example. Big investment banks packaged risky mortgages into complex products, dressed them up to look safe, and sold them to people who didn't fully understand what they were buying. When the bubble burst, those banks survived. Ordinary investors got crushed. And taxpayers, regular people, ended up absorbing huge damage through bailouts. In other words, when the system wins, the winners keep the upside. When the system loses, the public often carries the downside. That's not an accident. That's design. Rule number 3, information asymmetry. In this game, information is power. And the people at the top of the food chain usually see the truth first. That's why, even though insider trading is illegal, information advantage still exists in real life. Picture this. A tech CEO quietly tells a friend, "We're about to release a product that will change the market." That friend buys a huge amount of stock early. Then the news goes public. The price surges, and the friend makes millions. Meanwhile, the average investor finds out late, right when the excitement peaks. They either watch the price run away from them, or they jump in at the top, right before the smart money sells. That's how most people lose. Not because they're stupid, because they're late. Rule number 4, leverage a double-edged blade. Leverage can multiply gains. It can also erase you overnight. The financial elite understand leverage like surgeons understand a scalpel. They use it carefully, often with protections the average person doesn't have. Here's a simple example. You put down $80,000 to control a $400,000 asset. If the asset rises 10%, your gain isn't 10% on your cash. It's much bigger because you controlled more than you paid. But if the asset drops, leverage amplifies pain too. A 20% decline can wipe out your entire down payment, then leave you with debt. That's why leverage isn't good or bad. It's power, and power requires discipline. Rule number 5, the psychology of money. Markets are not purely logical because markets are made of humans, and humans are driven by emotion. Two emotions move almost everything: fear and greed. Smart investors learn to watch those emotions the way sailors watch the tide. When panic hits and everyone sells, they look for quality assets at discounted prices. When the crowd becomes euphoric, they take profits before reality returns. There's a famous line often associated with Warren Buffett: be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. That's not just a quote. That's a survival code. Control your emotions. Learn how other people's emotions swing, and you stop getting harvested by the market. The 5 levels of the casino. Now let's return to the 5 levels, because understanding them is like seeing the map of the world for the first time. Level 1, the giants at the top. These aren't just successful business leaders. They are often people who can reshape entire industries. They don't simply participate. They can redefine what the rules even mean. Look at the way massive platforms change retail, media, and daily life. Aggressive pricing strategies, years of losses to dominate market share, and narratives that sound like we're helping consumers. And sometimes that's true. But sometimes behind the consumer benefit is the slow suffocation of competition. And when the competition is gone, choices shrink, control increases, prices can rise again quietly. Here's the deeper secret of this level. They know how to socialize losses and privatize profits. When they win, profits are theirs. When they lose, they often argue they're too big to fail, and the system rescues them. That's not just business. That's influence. And influence is the real currency at the top. They also know how to shape public opinion, controlling media narratives, funding research, sponsoring institutions, promoting social responsibility. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's branding. And the average person can spend a lifetime without ever building a network powerful enough to compete with this level. Level 2, the startup warriors. The media loves startup stories. They sell courage, hustle, and overnight success. But reality is harsher. Most startups fail. A massive number die early, not because the founders were lazy, but because the game is unforgiving. Many unicorns grow by burning investor money. They subsidize prices, buy market share, and aim for growth first, profit later. Sometimes they win, sometimes they collapse. And for the average entrepreneur, trying to play that winner-takes-all strategy without deep capital is dangerous. On top of that, markets and technologies shift fast. A good idea can become obsolete in months. And if a small startup shows real potential, big players can copy, integrate, or outspend them. Still, startups matter. They push innovation forward. And those who survive often share traits: sharp market awareness, fast learning, adaptability, strong leadership, and a stubborn refusal to quit. Level 3, the office class middle layer. This is the largest group. The group that believes, if I work hard, I'll earn stability. But many are living on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. Inflation rises. Housing costs climb faster than wages. Education expenses explode. So even if your salary goes up on paper, life can feel more expensive every year. Then comes the next pressure: automation and AI. Many jobs that once seemed safe are now being restructured, downsized, or replaced. And in modern corporations, employees are often treated as replaceable resources. That's why lifetime employment is becoming a myth. So this level faces a brutal reality. If you don't keep upgrading, you risk becoming outdated. And the work-life balance problem adds another weight. Technology makes work follow you everywhere. The day never truly ends. The stress spills into health, relationships, and peace of mind. To survive, people in this layer must keep learning while protecting their energy, while building value that isn't easily replaced. Level 4, the retail stock player. This level believes they're investing, but many are actually gambling with extra steps. Because price movement often isn't just company value. It's news, narrative, emotion, policy shifts, and sometimes manipulation by large capital. In a world of information imbalance, the retail trader is often the last to know. And there's a painful pattern. Buy when the price is rising because of FOMO. Sell when the price is falling because of panic. That pattern is a gift to institutions. They buy from your fear. They sell to your greed. And a lot of insider tips floating online are not real insider information. They're smoke, a lure, a trap. Does that mean retail investors are doomed? Not necessarily. But the escape is not chasing quick wins. It's long-term thinking, diversification, risk management, and humility. And sometimes the smartest move is not trying to beat institutions, but choosing vehicles that align you with the market instead of fighting it. Because the biggest enemy in finance is often not the market, it's your own emotions. Level 5, the lottery dreamer. At the bottom is a group that feels tragic. Lottery is sometimes called the poor tax. Harsh words, but there's a reason people say it. Lotteries sell a dream. One ticket, one night, a new life. But the probability is brutal. The odds of hitting a major jackpot are so small that your brain isn't built to truly feel how unlikely it is. And yet millions of people play every week. Why? Because for people who feel locked out of mobility, the lottery feels like the only door left. A small payment buys hope, even if it's false hope. And here's a truth almost nobody thinks about. Even when someone wins big, it doesn't automatically lead to a better life. Without financial knowledge, many winners burn through the money fast. Relationships break. New friends appear. Pressure increases. Some end up worse off than before. Lottery can also trigger addictive behavior. The belief that the next ticket will change everything. And that belief can quietly destroy a life. If you want to change your future, betting on a near impossible event isn't strategy. It's escape. Real wealth is slow, stable, and built with skill, knowledge, and time. The money you spend chasing luck could be invested into education, training, or building a small side income stream, things that compound in real life. The hidden psychological traps. To win in this casino, you must understand the mental traps that crush most people. Win. Loss aversion. People feel the pain of loss stronger than the joy of gain. So they hold losers too long and sell winners too early. 2. Anchoring. People cling to the first number they saw, even if it's meaningless. 3. Herd mentality. Crowds create bubbles. Independent thinking creates opportunity. 4. Confirmation bias. People search for information that supports what they already believe and ignore warnings. 5. Overconfidence. After a few wins, people think it's skill. Then they scale up and get humbled. Once you see these traps, you stop falling into them blindly. Your choice from here. Now that you understand what's hidden in this financial game, you have 2 options. 1. Remain a passive participant, letting the system move you wherever it wants. 2. Use this knowledge to actively shape your financial future. Remember, knowledge is only step 1. Change comes from action. Start planning today, step by step. You may not be able to change the entire system overnight, but you can absolutely change your position inside it. This game never stops, and the rules keep evolving. So stay alert, keep learning, adjust your strategy. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. From this moment on, you're not just watching the game, you're in it. Because in this world, either you master the rules, or the rules will master you. So open your eyes, see the system clearly. Because only when you understand the game can you start winning. And the future belongs to the ones who dare to challenge the present, who never stop learning, and who adapt faster than the world changes. You can be one of them.